Hello and welcome back to the Battles of Brother Purple. This is the level 26 episode coming to you from Eveningstar. I was trying to find an interesting vantage point from the back of this ox cart, but I got stuck in between the two oxen and that was it. I couldn't move, so I had to use the stuck command. So we will go and sit instead next to this nice looking campfire and recap where we are at right now. As I'm sure you know, level 26 is kind of a big deal in terms of the epic destiny progression, giving you access as it does to the third cause and the fourth tiers of the trees. I've left our shadow and sentinel as they were, and I've gone all in on the Grandmaster of Flowers. I've reorganised it a little bit. I was disappointed that this seems to be bugged and is only granting +1 to all saves, even though we're in the ocean stance. So I've left that for now because our saves are reasonable, I think. What we've taken instead is this thing I was on about, Lotus Bloom. So now the Drifting Lotus, which is our big booming cleave attack, the biggest damage we have, also gives a 4-second stun. You'll recall with our Deadly Instinct on, it's a 70 save, so that's pretty good. We've got 6 stunning DC from this tree, and also we have stunning, of course, on our gear. I think we've got better than that, haven't we? Yes, stunning 9 on the Celestial Ruby Ring, which is very good for our build. Although the accuracy now is surplus to requirement because we've got that on the crocodile thing. Also, of note, we've got another 15 fort bypass, which is excellent for our build because that's kind of what we're into, what we're stacking. So if we look right now at the important things, we've got 180 strike through, which hasn't moved, but is very nice to have. 55 helpless damage bonus, again very nice. Every time the bird hits something we're getting that, and I'm hoping that every time this stun triggers, that too is going to be helpless, so whatever we follow up with is going to do big damage. In our case, it's going to be the whirlwind attack. So what I will try to do now is alternate between the Lotus and the bird strike for my opener. And you can see there the bird strike has gone up to almost 80 DC, which is very respectable in sort of mid to late epic, I think. I'm very pleased with that. And that's largely on the back of this Whispering Ring from the Borderlands. Super item for anybody looking to do any kind of assassinating. That coupled with the 6 that we got from the shadow tree. What was the other thing I wanted to draw attention to in here? The fort bypass. We're up to 65%. Now add the bird attack to that and it's 115%. And there is the potential to go even higher once we've got what we've got in here, which I think will be fairly soon. We're not going to bother with that, are we? We're capped anyway for MRR. 1 critical hit and damage, that's a bit lukewarm, isn't it? Chaos absorption, I don't know. That, we don't do sneak attackage. Evil absorption would be nice because we're desperately bad against that, but I'm not putting 3 points just for the sake of that. So we might, once we kind of have finished in there now, I think. So I think we'll start stacking in here. We'll go for the third core, so even if we fail an evasion, we take oh, do we actually have improved evasion as a monk? That would be interesting to know. Let's have a look. Monk class feats. Evasion. There doesn't seem to be an improved evasion there, does there? crikey, there's an awful lot of stuff here. I tell you what, while we're in here, let's just have a quick look, as much for my benefit as yours, and see exactly what we do get for leveling up as a monk. Bonus to saves against enchant. Slow fall we know all about. Quivering palm, excellent but underused. Now unaffected by all natural diseases. We must have had a lot of magical diseases then, because I've been diseased fairly regularly. The mummy rot among others. Damage reduction 10/epic. I guess everything in epic is or is it the bosses only that are doing this epic? Anyway, it doesn't really matter because we've got 15 on the boots, so we're not that interested. Although that would give me the option, wouldn't it, to switch to the faster boots. I'm loving the speed and the wings on the monk. Was it the last recording we did where we were able to jump up onto some ledges and surprise opponents with the wings? Void we're not using. Oh, that's the one. Actually, this is the one that Wagon was drawing attention to. A temporary +5 bonus to hit and to skill checks to maybe help your party if you're doing some traps or something like that. Could come in handy in something like the 3-barrel cove where the traps are just fiendish. That we know about. Oh, bypassing various damage reduction. Now I just took the adamantine here because we don't have any adamantine bypass on gear or anything, and it seems to be the most widespread one. That one there is a bit useless aside from the melee power and hit points it's giving, because we already have all alignment bypass on our quarterstaff, and our MRR is capped. Well, that's nice. Extra, this just connected to being centered, extra dodge bonus. Nice. Finishing moves, I won't dwell on those. I think we've dipped a little bit into it with the healing finisher, but that's as far as I want to go. Run faster for every 3 monk levels. Yes, we're running really fast even though we don't have the maximum speed boots on, so that's been lovely. Ah, there we go. Spell resistance equal to your monk level +10. So we've got 30 spell resistance like as a base, and that's why we've got that's what. Oh, we're on 43 now. Oh yes, of course, because I took more spell resistance in here. So we're almost up to 1 in every 2 spells that's cast on us automatically fails, and not failing a will save on a 1 is great. Now will save is very strong anyway because of the wisdom being the main stat, so that's really nice. And go back to the, there we go, abundant step. I'm very pleased to say we used it almost as soon as it came available. Probably been underused still. I'm still getting used to having it all the time, but it's great fun, gets you out of some hellish situations. We used it very well against one particular end boss to survive something where we surely would have died. Against the Spinner of Shadows you can actually outrun her with the monk speed and the abundant step, which is very rare in my experience. AC bonus we know about, and that's it. So I don't see improved evasion in there, so we obviously don't have that, so we'll get the improved one here, meaning we take only half damage if we fail a save against a trap, plus we'll get the melee power, won't we? What else does it give in there? Melee power, that's about it, isn't it? We'll do well with the reflex saves and AC, that will be nice. And then in here we've got some really nice ones. Double strike, immune to energy drain, which is great, and more fortification bypass. Now already we're when we hit something with the bird, we're over 100. I think we're on 115 fort bypass once something gets hit by the bird. So that's looking really tasty. And against end bosses, we're in a good position there to make a decent contribution. Speaking of the bird, as a first attempt to go into this falconry tree for anything other than just simple helpless damage for a caster, it's been both engaging and fun and effective. I can see it being less so on, if you're running as part of a group and you just really want to put out damage and you're not too bothered about the crowd control side of it because things are just getting blown away in short order anyway. Running the Reaper 2s with our little group kind of opened my eyes to the fact that, yes, the bird was still situationally useful, if a Reaper pops up or something, but I wasn't doing it anywhere near as much as I was when I run solo. So there is that to consider. But I've really enjoyed that, and let's not forget this fortification thing. I mean, that's huge against an end boss. That's particularly nice. Or anything like an elemental or an undead that's big fortified. So I've thoroughly enjoyed that, to the extent that I might like to explore going deep in here again if the possibility presented itself. How have we got 30 points in there? And no, we've not. Oh, that would have been just one more wisdom, and then that's a bit more melee power and PRR, isn't it? Because we're capped on MRR anyway. I guess that's why I haven't taken that. Yeah, I suppose you could say that about it. The cores are pretty lukewarm in it, aren't they? But more than made up for, I think, by some of the stuff we're getting up here. The bird AoE thing, I mean, all of these tier 4s have been excellent for us. That one is bleh, but the rest of it is very good, in my opinion. Right, what quest shall we have a go at for the 26? I was thinking I think we did the high road last time around, didn't we? So let's have a go at the nearest one to us on the right, down here on the riverbank, the castle thing. We'll have a go at that. Oh, what's this? Stop the fire reaver. Go on then, let's stop the fire reaver, if we can. Nice job. Worth doing those, because you get a little bit of XP and you can sometimes get a bit of commendation, which you've already seen. This life we used for some potions of restoration before we could actually use the scrolls. We're getting there now with the UMD. We're slowly getting there. We can do Raise Dead with the greater heroism. We'll be able to do Raise Dead without a problem, and the fire shield and the teleport. So we're getting there, but it's been a long old haul. It's not been good, and as one of you said in the comments, it makes you realise the value to a melee of things like Artificer past lives that give a +1 on all the, is it intelligence based skills, including UMD, is that right? No, because UMD is a charisma skill, isn't it? What am I on about here? I think it's I think it's +1 on all intelligence-based skills and UMD. In fact, I'm sure it is for an Artificer life, and I can well understand why the melees would value that. Let's keep pushing and try on 2. The worst that can happen is we have a short run back to the start of the quest. So yes, let's remember we've now got our stunning thing that we can use. So if it's off cooldown, we should always lead with the Drifting Lotus if we're in the middle of a crowd. If you haven't done this quest before, you place one of these torches in the flickering bracket here, the glittering bracket, to start the thing off. Let's see if we can get them all around us. And can we stun the Reaper? I am not sure we could. No, we didn't stun the Reaper. So if there's a Reaper, it's still the bird. That's another very nice use of the wings to just jump past the spell wards. What's happening here? Was there a lag? I think there was. Either that or we were slowed by the spell ward. Nice. Okay, now I don't think it's that one, but oh, hello. Yes, so we can't blind them, but we can. Sorry, we can't stun them, but we can blind them. Okay, I think we made rather heavy weather of that, but okay. Let's set a cauldron going here. Timed that well. I think I caught the Reaper in the bird attack. I don't think we're going to be able to use strength, are we? No. So snap the thing. Not too bad.
Kelden's sing-song voice emanates from the Netherese staff.
Okay. I have a terrible habit of breaking those staves while fellow party members are still in the vicinity and they take the full force of the blow, which they are not happy about, quite rightly so.
The reek of still and stagnant pools wafts up from the nearby.
Why are we? Oh, we're going slow because of the spell ward. That's it. So it wasn't lag earlier. It was the spell ward thing that had got us.
The foul stench is particularly strong at this spot.
Let's see if we can use a cauldron here. And the bird, maybe? Nice, nice, nice.
Before the elemental breaks apart and evaporates.
Okay. I should really start picking up the stuff, shouldn't I? I suppose I can always transfer some funds from another character when we run out. I'm just acutely aware of the encumbrance issue, and I don't want our stance to get turned off and me not notice. Oh, Fear Reaper in there. I'm going to have to go bird attack, big boomer, cauldron if it's off cooldown. I don't think it is. Okay, we got rid of the Fear Reaper. That's the main thing. I think you saw there again the bug that exists with the bird attack. It's hitting things way out of its range, almost like the tactical detonations of the technician people in Just Business. Even through doors it's hitting. there was the stun from the... yeah, that was nice, the stun from the Drifting Lotus. So that does work as described, which is nice. Nice job.
Can briefly be heard as the Overseer collapses. The Overseer and Elemental must have been magically connected to a gate somewhere. With their death, the sound of opening metal can be heard in the distance.
Okay. I'm going the wrong way.
Castle throne room lies beyond.
So if you have a way to sort of speed past, a sprint boost will do it, or something of that ilk. It's only when you linger in the vicinity of the spell ward you begin to take the damage. So we're going with the Hood of Unrest, Cauldron, Bird. More Bird. I'm going to hold off on the big attack until the other things come, the rats. Like now. Keep the heal going. Nice job, nice job. Go away, rats. I think we did pretty well there. Maybe it was a quest that suited our ability set. Still more than happy with how that went. It's a far cry from the wandering into the chains of flame and disaster. So I will finish off the high road chain, and then there's Giant Hold to finish, and then maybe we will join with the group, because there's one or two of them who would still like to have a Gibber's Blade, so perhaps we can have a run at that, a run or two at that, and then after that it'll be on into Wayloon. Now Wayloon was probably the scene of our biggest stomping in this life. I don't think I'm being unfair if I say that, well, it was only on Reaper 1, but we absolutely hammered our way through there on the way to the cap. So it'll be interesting to see how the build copes in Epic, more or less at the level. Perhaps we can bring you a quest from there and you can see for yourselves. In fact, it would be interesting to do that, to see how, because I mentioned how well the sort of stand in the cauldron strategy coped with the siege endings of most, if not all, of the Wayloon quests. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we can stand up in Epic like we did in Heroic, see how those go. Right, I will thank you very much as always for looking, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.